All right, Gordon. Your suit should keep you comfortable through all this. The specimen will be delivered to you in a few moments. If you would be so good as to climb up and start the rotors, we can bring the anti-mass spectrometer to 80% and hold it there until the carrier arrives.
Yeah, everybody, welcome to Rant On Wrestlemania 32. Yeah, that's right, folks. This show is going to absolutely fucking suck balls, and I'll go more into explanation. Let me stop tape here on the music. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. I decided to put up my new picture of Dean Ambrose instead of having Daniel Bryan, out with the old, in with the new, and Dean Ambrose is a new for my profile picture. So, ladies and gentlemen, just to give you some insight of my viewpoint about WrestleMania 32 and how I think is going to go down. I'm not giving you an actual overall preview, but I'm kind of giving you the insight of how I feel this show is going to turn out to be, and just more in a ranting kind of manner. All right. You know, as I've mentioned, I've been out sick for a while. In my last video, I'm doing one more video. I'm going to do a Monday Night Raw review for you guys for the final last time on this WWE current piece of shit product. And here's the reason why I'm going to go ahead and say that this is a piece of shit product. It's not that hard. It's not that hard to figure out, ladies and gentlemen. And this rant on WrestleMania 32 will explain that in very good detail. So, going into this, I'm not, as I said, it's not a preview to WrestleMania 32. We're actually going to be doing that on Random Wrestling Talk tomorrow at 8, 9 o'clock, depending on what time we do decide to do that. But it will be around those two times. All right, so basically, reason for my purpose of doing this video is simple. This is a horrible, and I mean absolute horrible, build up to a WrestleMania event. Okay, prime example, the ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship. All right, Kevin Owens is a champion going in. Of course, everybody knows that if you've been following WWE's current WWE product, whatever. You will know that this is now a multi-man ladder match. Now, when it comes to a multi-man ladder match, every factor has to have a reason and purpose of being in the damn pay-per-view of this ladder match. Every match that we ever had in the past at a WrestleMania or any kind of ladder match that dealt with a championship on the line or dealt with, something of the ordinary where somebody goes ahead and is trying to capture a championship, it always came down to the point where, we have the people involved having a purpose and reasoning behind why they're in it. Simple as that. So Kevin Owens is defending this belt against Sami Zayn, which is a good opponent. Definitely makes a lot of sense. Dolph Ziggler, who's been struggling his sorry ass off trying to get into a WrestleMania match, and for some weird reason he was able to even after losing to Triple H. But he had some wins over Kevin Owens, which gives him a right to be in this ladder match. But then we have Sin Cara and Zack Ryder and Stardust. The Miz, he had a storyline going into this. I'm not saying he's well worthy to be in it, but I guess you could say he's a Intercontinental champion. So in a sense, he kind of deserved to be in that match, even though he has no rhyme or reason to even win the belt or had shot in hell to win it. But Zack Ryder, Sin Cara, and Stardust have no rhyme or reason to even be in this match. This is a pointless and ridiculous match that shouldn't even be they shouldn't even be on the card. They should be in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal match. And that's pathetic. Those three guys have diminished this whole match, made it completely pointless and worthless. It should be just a fatal four-way ladder match with Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Dolph Ziggler, and The Miz. It would have been simple as that to do that. Or had Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn in a ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship one-on-one, nobody else. I think that would have been a lot better. But still, having a multi-man ladder match wouldn't have been a problem. It's just the people they have involved in it shouldn't even be in it. It should be a fatal four-way ladder match. The next match on the card, Kalisto and Ryback. I'm not giving my predictions here. This match shouldn't even be happening. Kalisto and Ryback should be a fucking Monday Night Raw episode for the United States Championship if they wanted to go forth and do that. But this is a crying shame that Kalisto has to defend his United States title on a WrestleMania card against a guy like Ryback, who's now being transformed into a fucking ridiculous joke of a character, ending up looking like Goldberg, and not a very good version of Goldberg, may I add to that. I mean, Goldberg is better than Ryback at this point. So I'm very disappointed in this. I think Kalisto could have had a hell of a lot better opponent. I mean, you know, there's tons of other people they could have went with instead of fucking Ryback, for God's sakes. But whatever. Next one's a 4-on-3 handicap match where they took the damn tag team titles off the line. So there's no tag team championship title match. This is a completely worthless piece of shit. I don't even understand the point of why they went about doing this. In all honesty, I think this match shouldn't even be on the card. Or there should be the tag title should be on the line in a handicap match or a free bird type match. Instead, they did nothing with this. The League of Nations are an absolute garbage travesty, as many times before in many occasions last summer. They should have built these guys individually as stars and then turned them into a faction, which would have made them a hell of a lot better faction. But unfortunately, because Vince McMahon's a fucking retard, they didn't go in that direction, and they went to Never Never Land. Our next match on this card is Charlotte versus Becky Lynch versus Sasha Banks. They had a tie between Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks, very weak, uncreative build towards this. Since then, nothing really heavily has been built up for this match. The only thing going for it is 3 stars are in this match that are going to put on a good show, action-wise. But storyline-wise, nothing you can look forward to with this. The Usos and the Dudley Boys are going to be on the pre-show, which is a smart move on their part. Unfortunately, I don't particularly find this Dudley Boys new heel turn be all that exciting. There's nothing big about them, and there's no build towards this whole thing. The only thing we got towards a build was them putting the Usos through a table, which they said that they're no longer going to do that kind of stuff. Don't understand that, but who fucking cares? Dean Ambrose and Brock Lesnar. It's going to be a good match. I like the somewhat the build has been okay, I guess. There's not been a lot of interaction between Dean Ambrose and Brock Lesnar. Dean Ambrose and Brock Lesnar should have more interaction leading into this pay-per-view, and there has been hardly none. Think about 2 weeks of episodes. They did that, and then from there, they just dropped it from that point. Ever since, it's just been Mick Foley and Terry Funk handing them weapons, which I think is absolutely insane. I mean, yeah, I get it. It's a passing of the torch from Dean Ambrose by Terry Funk and Mick Foley putting their faith in him and saying that he's a good wrestler to represent them leading into the future. But, I mean, in all honesty, it wasn't all that big of a deal. It didn't help them, help build this Brock Lesnar versus Dean Ambrose hardcore match into anything really, except for just the fact that, we got the passing of the torch by Terry Funk and Mick Foley. Big whoop. Who cares? We also get our other great match on this card. Fucking A, man. Triple H versus Roman Reigns for the World Heavyweight Championship is going to be a fucking travesty. This is going to be the biggest joke. And guess what? I'm going to save that rant for last because that's the best rant of all. So I'll go back to that. But the other match, Shane McMahon versus Undertaker, Hell in a Cell. Shane wins. He gets control of Raw. Undertaker loses. He's no longer able to compete at WrestleMania. This is actually a good build-up. About the only decent build-up they got going, but even that, for that matter, has been kind of a lackluster build. Nothing too, deep into this, except for Shane McMahon caring about the company and a lot of truth to stating what the audience really feels about how the company has been going lately over the last few years. So they've done a great job with that. The problem is Undertaker hasn't had a lot of interaction with Shane McMahon. Undertaker is being controlled by Vince McMahon, which is kind of stupid and unusual. The last time we ever saw that was when Undertaker and Kane were being controlled by Vince McMahon to stop Stone Cold Steve Austin from being the WWE champion, but they were gaining something out of it. They were at least winning a championship belt. In this scenario, Undertaker's getting nothing out of the mix except for the fact that if he loses, he no longer can compete at WrestleMania. Not that that's a big fucking deal anyway, because he's already lost at WrestleMania. So it doesn't even matter. In all honesty, with all this being said, I mean, he's already lost to Brock Lesnar. Him losing to Shane McMahon and no longer competing at WrestleMania doesn't really hurt him none anyhow. So who fucking cares? But good video packages were placed last week. I do have to agree with that. I think they did a very outstanding job with that, and I really enjoyed watching those video packages they did. It was an outstanding job by WWE to do that. Other than that, it's been kind of bland, but at least there's been more, motivation, build, and actual effort placed into building this match for WrestleMania 32. It's about the only good build-up. Now we get into Triple H versus Roman Reigns for the World Championship. Now everybody knows, if you follow my channel, I don't care for Roman Reigns so much. I think the guy is a fucking douche. I don't think Roman Reigns is that big of a deal. I don't think he's that good of an entertainer. Does the same fucking moves over and over again. Vince McMahon doesn't help him look good either. I mean, if you look at it, he's been gone for several weeks from Triple H beating the fucking shit out of him and the fans cheering their full heads off, to the fact that they got to see Roman Reigns get knocked off television. Just fucking awkward, if you ask me. I can't believe that. But in all honesty, Triple H looks good going into this. Roman Reigns, the last 2 weeks, has been looking great towards beating him up, but he hasn't been getting a lot of reaction towards the fans. He's been getting booed mostly, and nobody cares. It's pointless. He looks great as an angry dude. I have to give him that. He looks good as a heel. He would be good as a heel character. But even that, I don't even think would get him over. I don't think he's that good of a character. I don't think that he's that good of a wrestler. I don't think he can do much of anything to help this company in the long haul. This guy's a paper champion already. He's won 2 titles and have lost them both very quickly in the matter of just a few months. And on top of it, he is going into WrestleMania 32 in the biggest sporting stadium that they've ever been in the company's history. And he is going to be possibly booed the fuck out of the building if he wins that belt. So what is the point? Really, what is the point of having Roman Reigns as the champion? Unless you're going to turn him heel that night or the night after, which is being said that's the case. Now, I have heard rumors on the internet from other wrestling writers basically stating that Vince McMahon's starting to lose some faith in Roman Reigns, which is smart on Vince McMahon's part. One, he has not done a good thing with him either. He's protecting him. You can't protect the guy if he's a face. If he's a face, you're not supposed to be protecting the guy. You're supposed to be making him be at risk of getting hurt. That's what Roman Reigns' character should be if he's not a corporate guy. The way they're putting him is as the corporate guy. So then why not just make him part in the storyline, the corporate champion? I mean, let's get real here. That makes more sense than going ahead and having the guy, fucking defend be the champion and be hated by so many that know that he's being protected. That's the number one problem why Reigns can't get over by WWE fans. He's protected by Vince McMahon. He's Vince McMahon's little treasury gold for whatever the fuck reason why. Who cares? The point is, he's being protected, and people know that. They've seen it in the Royal Rumble matches. They saw it at SummerSlam of 2015. People were chanting Roman sleeping when Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose tag team against Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper. People are seeing this. People are noticing that this guy is being a corporate gem being built by Vince McMahon. He's a corporate toy, and people see that, and they don't like it. They want a genuine, realistic guy. If you want Roman Reigns to be a corporate little guy, make him a heel, make him a corporate champion, and make Dean Ambrose the people's champion. That's what we need. We need a guy that can represent us. Roman Reigns does not represent us, the people. He represents WWE's vision and what they think the product should look like. A guy built up with good looks, all that kind of stuff. Us, we want guys like Dean Ambrose, guy that's, maybe not a super strong guy, but he's got a lot of heart, a lot of determination, and he can perform in a ring and provide us with loads of entertainment quality stuff on the show. Anyway, at this time, guys, I do apologize. My phone's ringing. I will be back with part 2. Just 1 second, guys.